my name is Mark Okkerse with M&S Aviation Services, and today I'm very excited to be able to introduce you to this beautiful rendition of a 2003 Columbia 350, November 6512 Romeo. Let's go take a look. November 6512 Romeo is a one-owner aircraft. We sold the aircraft to its current owner as a new aircraft. The aircraft just came out of the shop with a very extensive and very thorough annual inspection. The plane has 1,015 hours on it, and after 1,000 hours there are specific inspections that need to be performed. Every service bulletin, every airworthiness directive, everything is done on this plane from one end to the other. The plane is in exquisite mechanical condition. As everyone knows, the Columbias are one of the most sexiest looking aircraft on the market. They are absolutely gorgeous planes. They just scream through the air, and they look like they scream through the air. After this plane came out of the shop, we went through with the paint touch-up folks and had them go over the plane from one end to the other, taking care of any little imperfections, rock chips whatsoever. We replaced all the leading edge tape all the way around on the aircraft. We put the Aerotech paint protection on the wheel pants and whatnot. And this plane is just absolutely perfect cosmetically now. The Continental IO550N 310 horsepower 2,000-hour TBO engine in this aircraft has 1,015 hours on it, and all of the compressions were very strongly in the mid-70s. The prop, the Hartzell prop, three-bladed prop, 2,400-hour TBO, and the prop is in excellent condition as well. The baggage compartments on the Columbias will hold 120 pounds of baggage, and believe it when I tell you that my wife and I have fit every bit you can fit in here, and it's just, you can't believe how much will go in there. In the back you have a hat rack which will hold 20 pounds. And then if you really want to haul a lot of things in the Columbia, you could also take the back seat backs out. With the bar, it would be removable. You could take the seat backs out and you can make it into a station wagon. The Columbias are a true four-place aircraft. If you look at the rear seats, it's room enough for two full-size adults to fit back here in sheer comfort. The rear compartment also is equipped with dual jacks for your regular headsets for all four occupants. It also has a single point jack if you have a noise attenuating headset that ships powered. Each occupant also has their fresh air vent, their own fresh air vent, and each occupant has their own reading light. This aircraft is also equipped with a built-in oxygen tank that's removable, and it's set up for 4 occupants. The Columbia 350s are a fully integrated glass cockpit. Just look at this beautiful cockpit. The modern Avidyne glass cockpit platform consists of a primary flight display and a multifunctional display with a moving map. You have a Garmin stack in the middle here, dual Garmin 430s, Garmin audio panel, and you have a GTX 330 Mode S transponder, and you have an STEC 55X autopilot. All of these are fully integrated, yet they're all capable of operating on their own for duplicity. If you look on the left, you have a full set of analog gauges for your aircraft: fuel, manifold pressure, fuel flow, batteries, RPM, temperature, oil pressure, EGT, and CHT. But if you come over to this side, on the multifunctional display, you have the full array of digital readouts for all of your engine parameters, plus you have all 6 EGTs, all 6 CHTs, and you have a lean assist program to assist you in leaning your engine out. For redundancy purposes, you have a standby attitude indicator, airspeed indicator, and your altimeter here as well. If we come back over to the multifunctional display, it's called just that because it does a lot. This multifunctional display has a moving map. Also on your moving map, what will show up is you have your weather will show up. So if you have any kind of XM weather shows up through here, so if you have any kind of weather out there, all of your weather components are going to show right up on that map. You know, this plane is also equipped with an WX500 storm scope. So you can switch to the storm scope mode and you'll be able to see any real-time lightning strikes that are happening. The multifunctional display also has a chart view. So if you want to load the Jeppesen charts in this, for example, you can just simply subscribe with your charts and you'll load them through a little USB port right here. And you'll be able to have all your approach plates put on here, and it'll show your plane actually flying the approach right on the approach plate. You come to trip mode. If you're on a trip, it'll show your trip and all the waypoints in between if you have them in your flight plan. It'll show all the nearest airports. It'll show all the nearest VORs, NDBs, intersections, and so on and so forth. The plane is fully equipped with a full checklist as well, and on every page the emergency checklist will be in the same spot. So if there's something that happens, doesn't matter what page you're on, you can go to your emergency checklist. Your auxiliary page will help you go through and set anything up the way you want it as far as how you want things to read on the plane. And then once again we come to our engine page, and then finally we also, when you start the plane up, you have a fuel computer, and we set the fuel computer up on startup, and then the fuel computer will, when you're traveling, will tell you exactly how much fuel you've burned and how many gallons per hour you're burning, and it'll also tell you how much fuel you'll have left to go to the destination, both intermediate and final en route. When we talk about redundancy, the Columbia 350s are equipped with dual batteries, dual alternators, and dual regulators. There's no more vacuum pumps on this plane. So you have two switches for both your alternators and your batteries. If you had one alternator go bad on you, you could take that bad alternator offline, hit this cross tie, and one alternator and one regulator and one battery would run the entire ship. All the Columbias are a true joystick control aircraft, meaning no springs, cables, or pulleys. You are directly linked with to your ailerons and your elevators by lifetime push rod controls. This is the real McCoy. This is not a push-pull yoke setup. The temperature controls in the Columbia are very simple. You have your floor vent, you have your cold to hot temperature, your defrost, if you need it. One of the neat things about the Columbias are that it has this cabin fan. So if you get on one of those frosty mornings and your windshield is kind of frosted up a little bit, not your wings, you could turn the defroster on, you can put the cabin fan on, and you'll start getting heat as you taxi. The Columbias are rated in the utility category. So the plane is approved for chandelles, lazy 8 steep turns, and stalls, and the maneuvering speed for full deflection of controls is a whopping 150 knots indicated airspeed. In fact, the Columbias are rated with a VNE of 234 knots, do not exceed. It's got a huge caution area, as you can see, from 180 all the way up to 234 knots of indicated airspeed. The Columbias are a true high-performance cross-country aircraft. In addition to being rated in the utility category and having that VNE that goes up to 234 knots, the plane actually cruises at an honest 180 knots, sometimes faster, sometimes maybe just a wee bit slower if you're heavily loaded on a high hot density altitude day. The plane's certified to 18,000 feet, and the plane will go up to 13,000 feet. If you're coming home across country and need to get above weather, you can put the oxygen on and you can go up into the mid-teens, and the plane will still be doing well into the 170s. And then if you're trying to make the distance, you can pull this plane back from 16.5 to 17.5 gallons an hour and bring it back to about 13 gallons an hour, and still be cruising in the high 160s lean of peak and get a range of up to 1,300 nautical miles. A real bladder buster. So I hope you can see why I'm so excited about this aircraft. You got an aircraft that was a one-owner plane, well maintained, went through a thorough annual from one end to the other with all the inspections done. We've gone over the plane cosmetically to bring it into top cosmetic condition. This plane is ready to go to carry your family, yourself, your associates on true cross-country missions. Why don't you take a look at my website on www.msaviationservices.com for more information on this aircraft. My name is Mark Okkerse with M&S Aviation Services, 704-663-2364, and I appreciate your time today.